you don't deserve anything.
Nothing.
You have to earn it.
You earn everything. And especially in sports field, if you can shoot better than me, if you can hit the ball better than me, if you can throw harder than me, then you get the shot.
Yeah.
If I'm upset about that, then
don't get
I
to
got
come
one
back and
person
try
to blame.
again.
We get up there, and all of a sudden, I see this cow with these legs sticking out of the
This is the
back.
part we're not supposed to talk about.
And I'm looking like, wow. And so this guy immediately was like, hey, get back on this track. Now come on, I need to take you back down. I was like, why? What's wrong? He said, no, just come on. And what this had taught me was this man had given me a skill set that where I came from, none of those kids back there knew how to do any of this stuff.
It's not just land. It's not just a facility. You are truly trying to pour back into the community.
Yes.
Is the kid who is just made the sophomore junior basketball team, and you walk in and he's like, I was at Gary's place when I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Derek. Yes.
That's the guy, right?
Yes.
Welcome back to Single Tree Nation, guys. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, and as always, we have our illustrious co-host, Mr. Derry Wells, with us today.
What is up, everybody?
What is up? What is up, man? You missed me the last few weeks.
I have, and but it's all good. All's well. You were sick, and I thank you for not getting anywhere. I joke around. Strep throat's been pretty common around the schools and whatever right now, that and flu. I joke around. I'm so susceptible to strep throat. I'll get it through a phone call. Like so I was A-okay.
I sent you a text, man.
Yeah, right.
We good?
I didn't need you here. Appreciate it. So no, that's good.
I wasn't talking very much anyway, so it was all right. Yeah. Man, I tell you, I woke up and was just like, I was done. Like there was no pass and go. I wasn't collecting $200. I got out of the bed and stood up and was like, yep. Nope, I'm done.
And it was strep?
It was the flu. It was the flu.
You know how kids will miss a day or two of school? Everybody's missing a whole week, no matter when you start.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because 2 weeks ago, I was down just like that. Like, dude, this is crazy, you know. And
But we had that congestion
it was more
thing.
congested.
It wasn't the
I think
flu,
I caught
don't
it
think.
early enough because I went to the doctor that morning. They gave me a shot of steroids in each cheek, a breathing treatment.
So like, do they miss your teeth? Does that hurt?
It's the other cheek.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I was
Somebody
like,
explain it here.
what's he
Sorry.
talking about? I don't understand.
What is this guy?
So,
Each
but
cheek,
yeah,
huh?
it moved right on out. I've been good ever since.
Well, good. Glad to have you back.
Look, we got a really cool show today. It has been about a year.
Has it been a year?
Almost.
Little over a year, I think. Wasn't it last January that y'all were on the show?
I think that's right.
I can't remember. But that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
We've been busy.
Yeah.
Not to toot our own horn, we just passed 2 years.
Awesome.
Me and you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yep. So we just passed 2 years.
I think this will be episode 122
Some ballpark.
ish, somewhere in
Yep.
that neighborhood.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
And
great.
we have another 14 on the books.
Also,
Nice.
first repeat guests.
First time we've ever
We
had
like to
anybody
be
back.
first.
That's how much we like y'all.
I like that.
We like you guys,
we
too.
love you guys.
And your barbecue.
Well, it's all right.
Oh, speaking of, let me jump into that one really quickly. So prior to coming, we had a meeting. And before that meeting even kicked off, a burger came up. The best smoked burger in town. Single Tree Barbecue.
Oh, well, look at that.
We're working with. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. And man, so excitement is in the air about that burger. And not to mention how the conversation around it being $6.99 for lunch. Can't beat that. I mean, I didn't come over here to plug. However,
Well, I will plug my new hot dog.
Your new what?
My new hot dog.
Oh, you have a
oh,
new
you got a
hot
hot
dog?
dog.
I will plug all day long. They call it shameless, but when you own the place,
No shame.
I lost my shame a long time
No
ago.
shame.
So, I started making my own hot dogs. So
Oh,
instead
wow.
of
That sounds so much healthier than what we get.
it is 100% all beef, prime brisket that I make
does.
myself.
Every time he said it, you say the term all beef prime brisket better than anybody else I know. Like
Makes
it
you
makes me
hungry,
want to go.
doesn't it?
Yes, every time.
I will tell you that anytime that you hand make a 100% all beef sausage, you can't go wrong.
What is the casing?
It is a hog casing. I just personally don't like the lamb casings. I don't like the texture of them. So we use a hog casing, but I will tell you, I've been working really, really hard on this recipe for a long time. And I ended up meeting
easy on the dad grunt there. That was
Derry, you are on it.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about? See
That's what happens when you go to a happy funeral.
He's doing it too. So I finally got it to where I wanted it, and it's pretty darn good. So Derry and I talked about it not too long ago about keeping things simple and just doing those things better than everybody else. So I really dumbed down the recipe and just kept it simple. So it is a 100% classic beef sausage that the grind is fine enough to be almost like a kielbasa. So it goes amazing on our slaw dog.
I was going to ask you what you're topping it with.
Yeah, coleslaw and barbecue sauce.
So do you
It's delicious.
disappear off somewhere when you're trying these new recipes, or are you doing it in the back
I
of the
do it at
restaurant?
the restaurant. Yeah, and then I'll bring some up here and let the knuckleheads try them.
they are have yet to be disappointed. Like
And then I have a couple of real big foodie people that come in the restaurant a lot, and I have their phone number, so I'll text them, hey,
Come try it out.
come try this out, tell me what you think, and then they give me feedback, and it's you never understand humility until you give somebody something that you've put your heart and soul into and say, tell me everything wrong with it. and they go, it's disgusting. You need this, you need this, you need this, and you need this.
let's start
And
a
you go,
shorter list of what's right about it.
Oh, okay.
It's gone. That's what's
Thanks.
right.
Yeah. Not making that one anymore. Well, let's
Maybe
try
I
something
need new
else.
taste testers.
Right. Yeah. It's so it's good. So by the time I get to the point to where we literally put it on the menu, it's been tried through many folks and tested and
Seal of approval.
see what's going on and kind of go from there. But
Well, feel free to call us anytime you need taste testers.
look,
We're
I
really
will.
good
I
at
didn't. If you want to try it, I'll let you know. Look, for those of you who don't know who we are talking to at this point, we Gary and Maryam 4EO. You have become very good friends of the show. We love y'all to death.
Feelings mutual.
I
Loving
thank
you
y'all
back.
for being such great supporters of the restaurant and the show and all the things. But today is not about that. Today is about what you guys are doing. There is, before we get into 4EO and the events you have coming up, last year when y'all were on the show, your husband decided to leave out his entire story
Oh.
and then just happened to let me get to know him a little bit better and start letting
Had to
me
really
get
in.
into
You don't give them everything all at
Man.
once. That's come on now.
You gotta give
So-
them a little bit at a time.
the great part about this is he's got no idea what I'm about to say.
Yeah, because I'm over here like,
Like, what you
I'm
trying to say?
thinking
So
What did I tell him?
what I would
that
like to start with, Gary,
okay.
is you as a person and where you grow up, your family ties, and who Gary Eady is, because one of the things that I believe in is storytelling. And I believe that what you were trying to accomplish with 4EO ties into who you are and how you were raised and the whole deal. So I'm going to give you a few minutes, if you don't mind, and kind of start us off as Gary as an adolescent 8, 9, 10-year-old boy. Where'd you grow up? Who are you? What you doing? And let's get, the fast track, because we only got an hour. Mm-hmm. We, between the two of us, we can bump our gums pretty well.
Absolutely.
So
we've done it. For hours.
Yes.
We're not even needed, Derry.
No, I can't eat this. And y'all chose poorly. So.
I thought I read in the contract that I was the eye candy, but that's okay.
Well, we can talk about that later if you like.
It's okay.
I'm going to take a break. Y'all have enjoyed the show.
Let's go get a hot dog.
That's right. Absolutely.
A nice sausage.
Yes.
So, yeah, actually, Charlie, I guess to start off, I am lived experience. When you think 4EO and what we're looking to accomplish, that's truly how it evolved. It started with my lived experience. So if we're looking at the age of 9, we can start at age 9, where my whole life turned around. I lost my mother to an illness that just hit her all of a sudden. For those first 9 years of my life, so I didn't really know him that well. Saw him a couple of times, but didn't know him that well. Morning that my life changed, my mom got us up early for school, like most kids do. And, I grew up I was a project kid. So all my friends were from right there in those projects. And you can best believe if you surveyed any of those people down there, they'll tell you, I'm just up every morning, knocking on doors, trying to get someone to come out and play with me. It's like 6, 7 o'clock, and I'm getting cussed out by every parent. Like, well, they're not up yet.
We ain't had cereal yet. Y'all calm down.
None of that. But I'm the first kid out. It's always their first.
Here comes Gary. Y'all close the blinds.
That's exactly how it was, too. Some doors I would knock on, they wouldn't even open them. But that particular morning, I woke up, and I recall I'm coming down my hallway, my mom, and she's kind of like staggering as if she was drunk, and I couldn't understand. I'm a 9-year-old kid, like, what's wrong with mom? So I get my sister, and I was like, hey, I think something's wrong with my sister. My mom's standing in the hallway. All of a sudden, she collapses, and so my sister tells me to go next door to get the neighbor, to tell the neighbor what's going on. So neighbor comes over, they call the ambulance, they rush my mom to the hospital. She and my sister and I, we go ahead and get dressed. So we come home from school, and mom's not there. The neighbor's there waiting for us, and she was like, hey, they had to rush your mom in Alabama. So you guys are stay over here with us until we hear more about it. So didn't think anything of it, still being a kid, so we go outside to play. And probably about an hour and a half later, get from the lady who was watching over us to say, hey, you guys need to come home. We got something to talk to you about. And so all the other kids that were playing in the neighborhood with us, they all was when the news was broken that, hey, your mom just passed. And so at that point, didn't know what was going to happen with me and my sister. It was still kind of up in the air whether we're going to go live with my dad or what was going to go on. So funeral arrangements, get through all the services, whatnot. We end up moving to Lynchburg. So I go from living in a housing project where all my friends are to a rural area in Lynchburg, and my best friends are 3 dogs, and I have no kids to play with. I'm just a loner. And so this was a couple of months go by. I'm just, we got enrolled into school. I go to school, I'd come home, and one day I'm out with these dogs just running, and there's no neighborhood, so we're out in the country. And down the road, there was a house that the dogs had ran down. The guy had a farm down there, so the dogs had ran down there. So I followed the dogs down to the house. And when I walked up the driveway, I saw a basketball sitting in the yard, and there was a basketball goal sitting on the telephone pole. And so I walk over, I pick that basketball up, and I just start shooting that ball. And so I'm shooting the basketball, and all of a sudden, here comes this guy out of his house. He's like, hey, you from around here? And I was like, well, yes, sir. I said, I live right up the street. He was like, well, who's your parents? And I was like, well, my dad. And I told him who my dad was. And he was like, oh, yeah, I know your dad. My dad, your dad and I, we work together. And so you like playing basketball? And it's the first time I'd ever really played basketball. So, of course, a kid's going to say, yeah, of course. So I was out there shooting. And he's like, well, look, you're more than welcome to come down here and shoot basketball anytime you want to. I was like, oh, great. So 3 days in a row, I get off that school bus. I go down to this guy's house. That ball's out there. I'm shooting basketball. 4th day I go down, I'm looking around that yard and there's no basketball. And so, I'm like, where's this ball at? And I'm looking all around, don't see it. And so I'm distraught at this point. I turn around, I start walking back down the driveway, and all of a sudden, here comes this guy out of the house. He's like, hey, where you going? I was like, going home. He said, you're looking for that basketball, aren't you? I was like, yeah. He said, hey, come here for a second. So he takes me into his house, and I recall I'm walking into the laundry room, and there's of course, the washer, the dryer, and then there was a basket sitting right there when you first walk in, and there that basketball was in that basket. But not only was that basketball in there, there was a Frisbee, there was a football, there was every toy that I don't have was in that basket. And I was, he's like, look, he said, I brought that basketball in because if you look outside, it's about to rain. I didn't want it to rain on the ball, so I brought it in. When you ever come down here and that ball is not out there, this is where it'll be, and my door will always be unlocked. Now, this is the 80s. And I'm a black kid in a rural area.
Right. Right.
And I don't know this man. He doesn't know me. But this guy's telling me, hey, you're more than welcome to come in. So every day I'd go back and that door would be open. I'd go in there. But now what I knew is don't go past the laundry room. Not that he told me not to. It's just what
But this is where permission was granted. Like
yes.
that right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so I knew then, all right, so I'd get that ball. So this goes on for a couple of months. I'm going down there shooting basketball. Finally, this guy, he's come out. He'd hang out with me sometime. He'd talk to me. And he was married. He didn't have kids at the time yet. And so he has a farm. And on this farm, he's got pigs, he's got cows, he's got all these animals and stuff. And, he's got a garden, tobacco. And one day I was out there talking to him. He was like, hey, hop on the back of this tractor with me. I want you to ride up into the hills with me. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm excited about this. So I get on the back of this tractor. We ride up into the hills, and we get up there, and all of a sudden, I see this cow with these legs sticking out of the
This is
back.
the part we're not supposed to talk about.
And I'm looking like, wow. And so this guy immediately was like, hey, get back on this tractor, man. Come on, I need to take you back down. I was like, why? What's wrong? He said, no, just come on. And I couldn't understand why he was wanting to take me back until I got a little older. And it dawned, like, I'm not this guy's kid. He did not want me to see. He did not want me to see this because he didn't know if my dad would.
Right.
And so it was out of respect more than anything. And so after the fact, he told me what happened and how he had to pull the calf out because the legs were coming out first. And so he walked me through all of that. Next thing you know, I'm learning how to haul hay. I'm driving the tractor. I'm raking. I'm baling. I've learned how to stack hay. I'm out there cutting tobacco. I'm topping the tobacco, putting it on a stalk. I'm hanging it in the barn. I learned how to garden. He's showing me how to plant these seeds. And I'm a project kid with no understanding of any of this. And what this had taught me was this man had given me a skill set that where I came from, none of those kids back there knew how to do any of this stuff. And so it was just like all of a sudden, like this was him teaching me survival in a rural area, from a kid who comes from the city, And so me and this guy, he truly became my best friend.
Yeah.
So we were there for a few years before we ended up moving away. But and after moving away, I didn't see this guy anymore for a long time. And then I got to middle school and started trying to play basketball. I got cut my 6th grade year. And 7th grade year, I tried back out. They ended up keeping me because I guess they got rid of a couple other players and keep me. So I really never got to play much my 7th grade year, except when, we're up 15, 20 points, they throw me in or whatnot. And I recall one day being in the game and I'm getting ready to take the ball out and I'm trying to throw it to this guy. And the next thing I know, I throw it, it hits the back of the backboard and bounces back out of the wall. Coach pulls me out. I was just like, ah. So freshman year, I remember the high school coach, he ends up keeping me on the team. And we were in warm-ups. And there was a guy I saw my coach talking to. And I'm looking at a guy, but didn't think anything of it. And so after my coach got through talking to this guy, he comes over to me. He's like, hey, you know who that guy is? And I was like, no, I don't know. He said, that guy said he taught you how to play basketball. And when I looked at him, I said, is that Stanley Fanning? He was like, that's exact. I said, that's the guy that was my best friend when I was a little kid when I first moved here.
That's
and I hadn't
awesome.
seen this guy in years. So after, from that point, I ended up becoming a pretty good basketball player. And, I ended up making the Tennessee Georgia All-Star team. I was runner-up Mr. Basketball. One of my teammates on that team happened to be Penny Hardaway.
Okay.
Yeah, and so basically this guy is the guy that says that, he taught me how to play basketball. I ended up getting a scholarship,
That's great.
going off to college. So that story that Charlie, he was wanting me to tell you that story. But, as I think back on it, and that guy, he was very instrumental in not just, saying he taught me how to play basketball. This guy taught me a whole lot about
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
And so when I tell this story, when I talk about this 4EO and why we do what we're doing, and it's because of my lived experience that I'm not the only kid that has grown up, in a world where I felt so alone and didn't really have what I needed. And so she and I decided, hey, there's little kids out here. Let us pour into those guys, and I'm trying to pull up. So that's my story. And that's how 4EO, from my perspective.
Sure.
Like, I'm gonna tell you, Gary called me one day and was like, "Hey man, let's go have some coffee." I'm like, "All right, let's do it." And we get to chatting and just dudes being dudes and having an hour into the conversation, and then he breaks out with that, and I'm like,
This shouldn't matter. I need to know where y'all had coffee.
All American Cafe.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fine. I kind of needed to be there, something like that. And here's why. You, barbecue restaurant guy, clean cut business guy, sports background, but doesn't look it nowadays because it was golf. Let's be fair. No offense, but
No, you're good.
And then y'all meet up for coffee. Like that's just like there's a whole lot
hilarious.
of angles pouring in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
If y'all had met up at like the brass horn or something like that, what are you talking about? Like
that would have.
You needed to go somewhere a little rough on that.
I needed to be Waffle House, All American
A little
Cafe.
rough
something
on
like
the
that.
edges.
But I will say this, there. I spend time at Brass Horn. There, you'll see me in there.
He sees you in there.
That's my point. You should be there, Gary. I don't need you and Troy there together. All right, like that's
I see where you're going.
right.
We'll keep it all American. We'll keep it all American.
And that's interesting that you did ask him to tell that story, because that is somewhat the business model, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not how not necessarily the dollars of the business model, but how we're going to reach these kids. Like, we've tried to have seminars about financial literacy, and we offered scholarships, like $500. All you've got to do is show up for 4 classes where we feed you and take care of everything. And kids don't sign up.
Right.
It's because you have to catch them in a place where they are comfortable, where they enjoy being there, and they're there regularly. And then you say,
I think you
hey,
can simplify that even more, and you just said it. You have to catch kids in a place that they are,
yes,
not where we want them to be.
yes, exactly.
And every time we get together, we talk about our youth sports today, and it drives me insane how it's almost like we have forgotten how to coach.
Yeah.
We've
At all
forgotten how to
levels.
mentor.
It's not how. We've forgotten the goal of coaching.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm not that too heavy on
Yes.
that, but
Yeah.
not every kid is going to go out and be a professional athlete.
That's right.
Every kid that walks on that dirt or on that court or on that field has the potential to be impacted by that sport in some way.
Yes.
I knew in 8th grade I was never going to play collegiate football. Too short, too slow, too everything else. But I contributed to my high school football team. I still, to this day, have a good relationship with those football coaches. One of them just retired from PCA, and I'm sitting there texting him like, hey, I see him at church, whatever. And you reach out to these guys, and that has nothing to do about professional athlete.
Yeah.
That was because they met me where I was. And in a moment when I needed to hit the fitness mark for my senior year of football, our head coach is out there hitting us with a garden hose. Go. You got 3 seconds to make your deadline, and like just that little urgency to get you where you need to be. And all of a sudden you realize you met the fitness part of what they want us to do. And what's he doing? She's out there spraying you with a garden hose, which sounds awful, except on a July day in Tennessee.
Right. Love it.
It's exactly what I needed. Like, just, you know, and so if we remember that as coaches and let coaches coach, I'm not making an athlete. I'm not making a professional.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, too, when Trent said it a minute ago. Parents don't let coaches coach. We think we know better than the coach.
Well, and you know, and I told you this, in my years of coaching, I recruit a parent before I recruited a kid. And for that reason, if I cannot reach that parent, there is no way I'm going to be able to reach that
Absolutely.
kid. Yeah. Now, to go back to allowing coaches to coach, it's challenging for coaches to coach nowadays because it's not like it was with us where your coach is going to probably have tenure for 20 years. You got 3 years to show a winning season. And if not, then we got to get somebody else in here. And so these guys, that's how they look at it is I got my livelihood here.
Right.
I need to win.
That's fair.
You know,
That's fair.
and so with that is where she and I see that where, you know, how I talk about the homeless youth and how you got some of those kids that deserve this opportunity. And they don't get it because some coaches won't spend that time because that's too much of a challenge. But the next Michael Jordan is sitting in one of these hotel rooms here because they didn't get an opportunity. She and I is what 4EO wants to do is create that space and create that opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's stop for just a second, take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to dive into what 4EO actually is. Because we know, right? A lot of our listeners had heard you on the last show, but there's a lot of people that haven't heard it. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Absolutely.
Most brands want something clean, polished, quite frankly, forgettable. Dead Meat Society is for the ones that just don't quite fit the mold. For the late nights, that meaty perfection, the hunger inside. Join the society, stay soft. DeadMeatSociety.com. Go check it out. Welcome back to Single Tree Nation, guys. Oh my Lord. We can talk about that if you want to, before we get into 4EO, because it's a hot topic in my house. What do we think about NBA and professional athletes coming back to play at college level?
So you know we have a son in college playing ball.
I do.
Life is,
and he is phenomenal.
Thank you.
It's silly. That's what it is.
Yes. Life is tough enough.
That we're entertaining because somebody didn't get their fix at a college level or to whatever, didn't get developed, didn't get XYZ. You've had your shot. Let's let the next crop come in.
Yes.
But let's take it a step further. Let me tell you exactly why these guys are doing that. So they got an opportunity to go professional, but when you got there, the pool's still full.
Right.
So I didn't make NBA, so now I'm D-League.
Right.
You know, and still having to play behind someone. So it's not like I just need to come back to college to develop. These guys are coming back to college for
that money.
Payment. They're getting
Completely
that NI
agree.
deal. They're going to get more money in college than they are in the pros right now.
Right.
Not to mention, these universities are going to make a lot more money. When you got better players, it's going to make you look. Now your ticket sales are going to get there now. So it's all business. It's not.
It is business. I do think Alabama set that precedent when they allowed that kid to play and enter the game. It's one thing to be on the roster, and I think as that plays out from a legal standpoint, we'll see. But I need, like, the logic side of me needs some accountability there.
Yeah.
Because if the pool was full, you know what? If you're that good, there's always a spot in the pool.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
Well, the judge already decided he can't play.
And I'm
Oh,
sorry.
he did? Oh, good.
But my point though is, if you're that good, there's always a spot in the pool.
Sure.
Like, you won't get in
If you're that good.
And so let the next group of kids come up. and let them have their shot and have that, and find out who is that good. Let
But
the
that's
next-
also part of the problem in today's world, that everybody is so entitled to believe that they are the next X, Y, and Z, that they deserve another shot. They deserve a shot to begin with. And you don't deserve anything.
Nothing.
You have to earn it.
You earn everything. And especially in a sports field, if you can shoot better than me, if you can hit the ball better than me, if you can throw harder than me, then you get the shot.
Yeah.
And if I'm upset about that,
You
then
don't get
I
to
got
come
one
back and
person
try
to blame.
again. Right.
Listen,
myself.
Terrell Owens played college football at University of Chattanooga. If you're talented, they'll find you.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
Yes.
like that,
I
like
mean, Steph Curry, prime example.
exactly.
Davidson.
Smaller,
Yeah.
low
Smaller
D.
school. If you can play, they will find you. I mean, we rarely hear a story of the great one that got away. You know, I mean, because they'll find a spot, and so
Tom Brady was
You know, I
drafted
think
in
we
the
were-
third round.
Right. Absolutely.
We were all
But
fighting for kids
finish
to
the whole
be-
sentence. But if you can play, they'll find you.
Right.
7 Super Bowls later. I
Right.
mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Right.
if you can play, they'll find you.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. It's not a question of if. I tell my son all the time, my middle son Charlie, and he hadn't hit a home run yet. He has in some travel games and stuff like that, but not in school and not on a big field. You know, now that we're on 300-foot fields, it's a little bit more challenging. But long story short, he's dying to get one, and he bounced 3 or 4 off the fence last year. Like he's right
He's
there,
there.
right? And I keep telling him, son, it ain't about hitting the home runs. Because I can promise you right now, if every time you go up to bat, you get on base,
yeah, absolutely.
You're good.
you're going to
Yeah.
play at a D1 school.
Yes, you are.
You will play professional.
Yes, you will.
Every time you go up to bat, you get on base.
Kirby Puckett was what, 410? I mean, if you can do half the
Hey.
time, you'll go. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
You know.
one of the things I tell the kids when they're being recruited, you know, and a coach asks you what position you play, you know, you're gonna get a lot from a lot of kids say, well, he probably wants me to say I play every position, you know, so oh yeah, I can do it all. Well, that's not the answer. Just like hitting a home run every time you get up to bat, that's not the answer. What a coach wants to know is, what position do you play best?
Where's your skill set?
So I'm a point guard. Okay, well that's what I need, because I don't need a player to play every position because I got 4 other players in those positions. I need to know what position you play best. And so when you get them to scale that down, oh, okay, well, I'm the RBI king on the team. I'm gonna get on base and I'm gonna bat someone in every time. Guess what?
Yeah.
You're gonna get recruited.
Yeah.
You're gonna get heavily recruited.
It's you have to put in the work, no matter where you're at. It doesn't matter whether you go play at Motlow or you go play at UT or you get drafted straight out of high school. All of those kids put in the work, but everybody is at a different point in their life cycle of sports.
Isn't it kind of funny that we've come full circle to where we had rules to where you had to go to college for 2 years before you could enter professionally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you can go to professional and come back to college. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like,
Isn't that
there's such
crazy?
a weird dynamic there that goes back and forth. But
Yeah.
You know, I think we all thought college athletes, as much as they're giving to these schools, should get paid, right? I think we all looked at it as scholarship isn't enough, when maybe it was, right?
Yeah.
But now we've got this NIL in here, and it's really not even about the kids anymore. It's about how many bodies, not kids, because it's not 18, 19, 20, 21,
Right.
22. How many bodies can we pay to come and make us look good so that we can make more money?
It's
the
still a business
education
deal.
part is
Yep.
gone. The caring about your kids
Oh,
is
I
gone.
saw an interview from an SC. I'll just say SEC. We'll leave the school out, but an SEC football player did an interview and said he hadn't been to one class or done one paper all year long.
And he's probably getting ready to transfer again. And when he transfers,
He actually just got approval for a 6th year. So he's coming back to school.
But the
Right.
problem is
But
That's
even
the new thing. They
still
go
hadn't
and
come in.
find years that you have.
Yeah. How
That's
do you
what
do
we
that?
have learned in this whole college life. So and so found another year.
Oh, he's got a grad year.
You know, I'm
We can
about to
do
turn
this,
50,
you know.
so I wish I could find me another year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amen.
Right. Give me back to 49. Keep me here.
But
yeah.
it also, you think, with that, it makes it challenging for a coach with NIL because you can go out and get that great player. But guess what? As soon as you get him, someone else is coming to get him also.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And so what
Oh,
you're
yeah.
having to do is now you're at a place where I got to hide my roster. I can't really, before season starts because,
Yeah.
God forbid I'm in a practice and someone's in the stands watching and they see one of my players and next thing you know, my player's getting a phone call that night saying, hey, saw you today. Give you $300,000 to come over here.
Well, remember, name and likeness was originally, they were concerned that companies were making profit off kids, like who was on the cover of NCAA or whatever. That was where it was centered around. You're using this kid to make a dollar. And what we turned it into was I can buy my whole roster.
Yeah.
Not what kid is should have made money. So should the scholarship have been enough? Probably.
Yeah.
Was there one or two kids that probably made that university a little bit of money? Probably. But it wasn't anything like what they're shelling out now.
No.
And there's a balance there that got completely.
Yes.
Now, the pendulum will swing back.
Yeah.
And the problem is usually when it swings back, it goes too far the other way again.
Yeah.
And there's a sweet spot in there somewhere.
I'm
But
okay.
that's-
I'm okay with the kids making money.
I am too.
I am too.
Like I don't. You want to make money, fine. Like that doesn't bother me.
But really,
Now-
300,000?
But what I would
millions out
say is I personally think
Yeah,
whatever the
Miriam's lowballing them over here with 300,000.
But I mean, like
Whatever
at
the-
18, even that is like,
well whatever the professional league minimum is. Basketball, football, baseball, whatever. I don't care what sport it is. Whatever the league minimum of that sport is, that to me is
Should be
the
your cap.
yes.
cap
Yes.
for what you can get paid.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if Mercedes wants to give it to you or Rolex or Wheaties or whoever, the school, I don't care who gives it to you. That's the max. So if you've gotten $100,000 in NIL money from Mercedes, and if they give you a car, that's included in that compensation. So the value of that car is $124,000. That's part of your money.
Yeah.
Now, if you limit that, okay, cool. But then nobody can go, okay, well, hey, Derry got $125,000 from, University of Tennessee. MTSU is going to give him $300,000 next year when the cap's $200,000.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They can't go more than $200,000.
Yeah.
It
Because
is
at
what
that
it is.
point, you're just shopping.
Right.
Yeah. So,
And that's what it's been. And then you think about your roster, how it just disrupts your team.
Absolutely.
And then what about those guys who've been here with you? That, you keep bringing these guys in, and I'm having to continue to just ride this out. It's just,
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
very much so.
All right. Well, let's circle back around and get to the nitty gritty of exactly what 4EO is and what y'all's plans are, and then you can kind of give us an update of where we're at, where we're going, what we need to do, and then you got an event coming up as well I want to talk about too. So, tell me about 4EO.
You want me to take it? Okay. So 4EO is a multi-use facility anchored in sports. We will have 8 basketball courts that, of course, can become volleyball courts. It's how many?
Convert.
Thank
16
you. 16 volleyball courts.
24 pickle.
24 pickleball courts. We're also going to have labs, which would be like a shooting lab or a Vertimax lab, where you can have private training. Those labs are also big enough for volleyball and pickleball. Upstairs, we have suites. Those suites during tournament weekends will be used for the coaches as private area. They're all glass. You can see all 8 courts at the same time. During the week, it'll be used for our after-school care program. And during the days and morning hours, you can rent those areas out. We'll also have a track and a turf area in there. Turf area can be used for our seniors for mobility exercises, yoga, agility training, baseball, pitch, hit, area. And then we'll also have a nutrition area and sports recovery. So as you can see, there's a lot in there. It's for the entire community. It's not just for the youth. From age 0 to 99, 100, however old you're blessed to be, this facility will have something for you. The reason it's for each other is because we look to bring all of our members together. For example, if we've got seniors that come in the morning and we're talking and we find out one is a retired financial advisor, that may be who comes and teaches our next financial workshop to our youth, right? So that we can all be there for each other. The reason we're a nonprofit is because our homeless youth population in Murfreesboro is very large. We want to make sure that they can have access to the same type of training, same type of after-school care programs, same type of life skill and work skill development classes. All of those things will be offered to the homeless youth at zero cost, fee-free. For youth that are at risk, we will have a sliding scale fee schedule as well. So we want to bring all of this together, and we've gotten a pro forma done, 5-year predictions, and we know that in 5 years we'll be self-sustaining. So as a nonprofit, we won't have to so heavily rely on our community to keep us going and to take care of our homeless and underprivileged youth. At that point, we'll be able to self-sustain. That's why it's such a big facility. I love Patterson Park and both SportsCom. City's done an amazing job with those places. We love to go there. This is much bigger.
Yeah.
It's going to be a much bigger impact to our economy.
How many square feet is the building?
We're about 145,000 square feet, sitting on 10.2 acres of land, which is what we're still in need of. But 145,000 square feet, 538 parking spaces. And to her point, this is a facility that, you think about multi-use and you think sportsplex. So you think about volleyball, basketball, pickleball as a huge emphasis. But outside of those sports, what else can we do in a facility as such? That's where you have your dance competitions, your cheer, wrestling, martial arts, job fairs, trade shows, drone racing, anything that you can do inside of
150,000 square foot buildings.
Nice.
Yes.
It's a decent sized place.
Yeah. And then when people, you hear about Foreo, and really, you think about self-sustain, what she talks about. So, we look at generating revenue to be able to continue to keep the doors open. Those tournaments on those weekends with volleyball, basketball, pickleball, those tournaments are great. However, you have to have a Monday through Thursday programming to self-sustain a facility as such. And that's where we really wrapping our arms around our community. So that Monday through Thursday programming and what that looks like is truly for this community. Just prime example, open up the doors 7 a.m. on a Monday morning. We're catering to our third shift workers as well as our seniors and general population, of course. Those guys that get off work from Nissan, Amazon, the hospitals, don't want to go straight to sleep. We want to open up. We want to service with, third shift leagues, of such, just giving them an opportunity to come in and blow off some steam.
Have some social time, have some community time, exercise, all of it together before you go back.
And then, so that's going on from like a 7 to 10. 10 a.m., we want to offer up services for our homeschool population as well as our special needs population. They need a PE curriculum. So this facility would, service them as well, in addition to more general population coming in throughout the course of the day. But 2 p.m. is where the heart of the Foreo really hits. And that's where we run this after school program, where we're actually able to reach, kids, not just the homeless youth, but, also other kids that want to come in. Our goal is to, to teach the introductions to volleyball, pickleball, basketball. They'll get homework and stuff done. We'll work on, other things. But an important piece to that is, kids having to train in the evenings. Parents picking kids up from after school program by 6 p.m. and First thing you do, as soon as you pick them up, you got to get them across town somewhere to
Right.
get to some type of training. While they're training,
If it's even this town, you
Yeah.
might have to go to Franklin. You might have to go to Nashville.
Right.
yeah, and I mean, because we've had to
Wherever
do it.
there's
We
a
do it.
gym.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
wherever
We do it.
there's a gym. There's just not enough gyms.
And so what we want to do with 4EO is we want to be able to offer those training services during those hours of the after school programming, so that when you pick your kid up at 6, it's family time at that point.
Right.
So we got like trainers that are on standby now, because this space is such an urgent need. You know, we got guys. I mean, I'll write a letter of intent, man. Get this building built, man. We have got to find places. We meet with people all the time. Like, man, we got an AAU practice. We can't practice but one day a week because we can't get into, you know. And so
I've seen this week, just blanket like on Murfreesboro pages and stuff. Does anybody have a gym space available?
Yeah.
Like people are just asking for
That's what we
space
used to have to do for
just
our
teams.
find something.
My son's AAU team travels. They practice an hour from here.
Yes. Garrison used to have to drive an hour, hour and a half. I mean, well, that's when he started driving, and before that,
Is that just
whenever-
space availability?
Yeah.
That's all that's
exactly
for.
what-
When we were-
those
Yeah.
trainers that he was going an hour and a half for, they're from here. They were going an hour and a
because
half.
that's where
as
they
well.
run.
Yeah.
That's where they find space.
My word.
It's
So
crazy.
what we did is when we moved into our neighborhood, we were struggling so much with trying to find gym space, and they had that lot there. She happened to be on the HOA at the time. We built a basketball court there. I used to practice my kids there on the basketball court outside. You could
Listen,
ride.
I'm one of those people. If there's a problem, we're gonna solve
Uh-huh.
it,
Fix it.
right?
Yeah.
And the neighborhood, we had the space. The neighborhood wanted additional play or community space. We already had 2 pools. We had playgrounds. I was like, well, why not basketball? And then you have to represent for the people who need it. And it was a great idea, and people backed it, and we were able to get that built.
Yeah, you could ride by our house, and I got kids on the sidewalk, man. I got Vertimax, I got ladders, I got all this
Yeah.
stuff. I'm training kids on the sidewalk because I don't have an indoor space. And parents will drop the kids off there, and I try to work them out in my garage with the Vertimax machine and things. It's just, space, indoor space for sports is a huge, huge need
Yes,
right now.
it is.
And this is what we're getting from so many.
But beyond that, I mean, if you'll just take a few words of what we've said and think about that impact. It's the reason we're for each other. And you can see it's just members of the community, first of all, coming together in a space. There's a lot of kids who don't have grandparents nearby these days, right? Because we're so mobile now and people live in different states. And there's grandparents who don't have that type of contact. We can bring those people together. Now we're also offering, hey, we'll get your kids training done and all of that. So when you get off at 6 o'clock, you can go home and have family time. So we're impacting the community's health, mental health, and family health, right? And then, of course, there's the economic impact that will come to all of our restaurants and hotels and businesses.
You said you still need the land. So you said 10.2 acres.
10.2
That is oddly specific.
We know all
Man
our numbers.
knows what he needs. That's exactly right.
I need 10.21.
If you want to give us 11, we'll take it.
Actually, if you got 150, let's go ahead and put this facility on that 10 acres, and let's start building that retail and hotels and things up around it. How about we just start growing?
Just make it happen.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a play and stay. Everybody that comes on the weekend parks their car. They're staying at a hotel right behind the gym and all the restaurants like
Put a single tree barbecue right there.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
I could, but I could actually, inside these facilities, they have like little lounge areas and places like that. I could see a single tree lounge here. I could see a Toots lounge there. Things as such. Just, community.
Yeah.
It's all about community.
Look, I'll call Wade. I'm okay. I'll call him and tell him to do it.
Yeah. I mean,
So
it really, what it also does is it introduces and exposes people to our community.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
There is a lot to offer here in Murfreesboro, and that's what we know. And so to be able to drive sports tourism through here, and as a parent, I'm coming in for my child to play volleyball, basketball, whatever. Well, there's only 2 games during the day. So once those 2 games are over, what do kids normally want to do? Where are we eating at? Or what are we going to do tonight? Do we go to a movie or what? Kids want to go get something to eat So where I'm going to send them, I'm going to have a list on there on the wall, probably Singletree at the very
Where
top.
the locals eat.
Go where the locals eat. Okay. Then, well, what about entertainment? Well, I'm willing to partner with Main Event, partner, with Strike and Spare,
Yeah.
And so the teams can take the kids out and go do entertainment. Well, if I'm, say, from Iowa, because I always like to use that analogy from being from Iowa, I've never been as close to Nashville before. What's Nashville got to offer? Kids through playing, maybe we take a trip downtown.
Yeah.
Or,
But nowadays, Murfreesboro's got
so much to offer here that I want to partner and keep these people
and nobody
here.
wants to drive anymore once they get here, so there'll be plenty to do.
So we need 10.2 acres. We'll take 11.
Here, let's do it this way.
150,000 square foot building. Where are we at? What do we need? What do we need to put? Obviously you need the land. So if you have 10.2 acres, call me. I'll hook you up with Gary. We'll get y'all squared away.
Now, keep in mind, being a nonprofit, I want to make certain that's clear because there may be a lot of people out there. I got 10.2 acres that I want to sell, and each acre is $1 million. Now, we're looking for 10.2 acres of land donation.
Right.
Okay.
Or a discounted
Yeah.
land, yes.
So highly discounted or donated.
Yes.
10.2 acres.
So to answer your question, the best way to put it out, I call it a 4L approach. Land, lead donor, local lender, and a liaison to connect them all together. That's what our proposal is. And so we've had some great conversations out here, and we're still having some great conversations.
March is a big month for us.
It has been
Okay.
Land conversations, lead donor conversations.
local lending conversations.
We've already been having the local lending conversations. So
Okay.
I think March is going to be a big month for 4
So if everything goes right, are we looking at having land by the end of the year?
If everything goes right, yes.
Okay. Are we looking at shovels going in the ground by the end of the year?
Well, I don't want to jump that just yet. If we can get the land, it all depends on when we get the
I'll
land
say it
throughout
for
the
you.
course of
Yes.
the year. Okay.
Yes.
It said
Making it
yes.
happen.
We're
Shovels
making it
in,
happen.
Dirt's in the air. Let's do
Dirt's
it.
in the air.
Mhm.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Do you have a plot that you were having conversations with currently?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We have a few.
Can we disclose?
Not at this
Not
time.
yet. Okay.
Not just yet.
You know me, I'm gonna ask.
I like that you already knew the answer and still I'm going to poke
Still gotta-
anyway.
still gotta poke it in here.
Poke that bear.
You might get an answer. You never know.
That's right.
If you don't ask the question, the answer's always no.
I will say this.
I don't want to put unfair pressure on anybody.
Right.
We're having the
Look,
conversation.
you know who you are.
You know who you are.
Just say yes.
We need it.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
This is not. It's
not time to play games.
It's time to go.
Right.
Time to go.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen.
For sure.
I will say we've had so many conversations recently, where people we truly see the belief. People
Yeah.
are truly really believing in the vision, and that's really our ask. It's just if you believe in this, then support this because there's so many.
Well,
And
going
I'll-
back to what you said, that this is rooted in your life circumstance. You had that person that fed into your life. And I think part of our generation, the unique thing is we can name 2 or 3 people that fed into our lives.
Yes.
And nowadays, so many kids, I don't want to use the term lacking, but it's like the missing puzzle piece. They've got a ton of people, but they don't have that one that's pouring in, that's there, the man that's going to show up 3 years later and
Yes.
say, I taught him how to play basketball.
Yeah.
Because I think back when you're telling that story, I can look in my rearview mirror, so to speak, and I see 3 or 4 people that I'm like, man, they helped drive these points home. Points that my parents had made, points that, helped reinforce what we wanted to do. And I think that's what excites me when y'all discuss 4EO so much. It's not just land. It's not just a facility. You are truly trying to pour back into the community.
Yes.
So that because I'm going to tell you what I'm picturing is the kid who is just made the sophomore, junior basketball team, and you walk in, and he's like, I was at Gary's place when I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Derek.
That's the guy, right?
Yes.
And because you will never know your impact until you're just randomly met with that kid. And he's like, I remember when you used to take all 5 of us every Monday and blah, blah, blah. And now this kid's a senior in high school. And, that's the part in me that I think so much of the public miss, because the public sees today. The public sees, the city's doing this, the county's doing this, the economy's doing this, the whatever. They don't see that forward progressive look of 7, 8, 9 years down the road where that person walks in the door and you're like, oh my word, he's here.
And we have those boys now too, just from the teams he has coached up throughout the years and the boys he has trained.
But I'm putting it on a bigger scale.
And
I love that he's got those kids, because I've got those kids. And that's what's weird. And you're going to get those if you hadn't already. The ones that you're helping out with, and they come back. I still have a personal favorite of mine. We had a kid, and I didn't see him for years. His father got cancer, passed away when we had him as 10, 11-year-old. And that baseball team was my favorite team that I ever coached with. Fast forward years later, he comes to Oakland. And I am blown away, because now I am seeing him and he looks like his dad. And I was like, hey, do you remember? He goes, of course I remember you. And there had about 7 or 8 kids from that team that came through our halls at Oakland. And I'm talking just for a moment. I'm back when my son's 10 years old and I see that team again. And I was like, yep, that's fine. There's a successful, absolutely. Absolutely.
So people talk about what's the why. It's more of the because.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what it is, Charlie.
So
I love that. It gives me chills.
That is the goal.
Just to see
and it won't be just us 2 pouring into them. We're going to be selective about our staff. Also, we're going to make sure our entire staff is trauma-informed trained.
Okay.
In today's world, to work with the homeless youth, you have to be trauma-informed trained. But that's not the only youth that has trauma, right?
Absolutely.
So if all of your staff, we all had trauma. If you have staff that recognizes, hey, this kid isn't just acting out, something is at the root of this, and there's armed with the skills to address it instead of you're going to time out or you're getting written up. Let's work with it. Let's figure out what the root is. That's the other thing I want that place to be. I want it to be safe. I want it to be a place just a beacon of safety that they can come to. And
that kid be
kind of like a stuffed animal.
With the monkey. With the little monkey.
Charlie, if you say that too much on camera, you're going to lose some people, because there's a lot of people out there right now that have a heart for that monkey.
I have a heart for the monkey. It was cute.
He's just saying in the grand scheme of life.
I'm just saying.
Can I just point out the best thing about the whole story, in my personal opinion? His name was Punch. What a perfect name for the whole little thing
because they kept
around
punching him.
They
called him Punch.
He and Maury would get along very well.
Oh, that's hilarious.
We're naming names.
That was hilarious.
That's my brother. I can name his name.
All right. So what you got an event coming up? And forgive me, I've already forgotten the name of the event. But that's why I have you here. So tell us about this event and how we can sign up for it, what we can do to help support, etc.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, you good. I'm sorry.
MTSU well, it's not a homecoming.
No.
It used to be homecoming.
It's the MTSU Reconnect Weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a reunion. They were doing basically a reunion. So she and I, 15 years ago, back in 2005, we started. We used to host a homecoming party on a Friday night. So basically people coming back into town for MTSU's homecoming. She and I would always host this party. And interesting enough, I was telling the story earlier about us hosting this party, and people you had almost 1,000 people show up. Yeah. Where was this party? Well, the last time we had this party, it was actually at where the Experience Church is now.
Okay.
It was Park Place? Is that what it was called?
I think so. And the brewery wasn't even there yet.
No, I remember it was
just
an event center.
Warehouse.
It was just an open warehouse.
Yes.
I attended a wedding reception there. I know exactly what they're talking about. It was a fantastic little event.
It was a huge space, and we got up to about 1,000 people that year.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. So it
Okay.
was a huge hit. We did have to take a break from it because, Garrison started traveling. We were doing travel ball and all of these things. And, life had some
Began the
changes.
life. We started life.
But every year at homecoming, things have changed. There are still parties, and those parties are great, but they're smaller. So our already small alumni, well, I guess 1,000 is not small, but that 1,000 people group is now getting split and then split some more. So you don't get to see everybody. So people have every year, they're like, when are y'all going to bring it back? Please bring it back. And we just have been too busy. So this year, as we were thinking through the year of fundraisers for 4EO, we really had to dig into what is it we're good at? What is it God has already put in our hands and equipped us with that we could work? And that really kind of came to both of us at the same time. Like, we need to bring something like the jump off back.
What do we do best? Unity.
Yeah, we
create
bring
unity.
people
we bring
together.
people together. And so I'm like, okay, well, we're not doing this during homecoming because of the different parties and people being split. We didn't want to come in and run interference there.
Yep.
So I was just like, hey, why don't we do a spring event? And we'll just call it an MTSU reunion. These people have been asking for this party. We'll see if people are interested.
It's right before
When-
graduation.
So
Yeah.
when is it?
And it's
You said
during-
April 11th?
April 10th,
10th.
and 11th.
It's a full
It's a
weekend.
full weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're doing a Friday night event, and then Saturday we're doing an all-white event, and it's
Okay.
a day party.
Where's it at?
So
Okay.
Friday
the
is...
details we haven't leaked the details. just
TBD.
yet.
Yes.
It's coming.
They will be premier venues,
Yes,
both
they
of
will.
them.
Okay.
The second one, we're having to make sure we get the final details in place before we can announce it. And then we're hoping to start ticket sales by next Friday, which is March 6th.
Ticket sales next Friday. That'll give us where, when, and how.
All of the-
Everything.
and give you all the
Yes.
details.
Okay. And where do I go to see those tickets?
You need to go to the 4EO Community Center Facebook page. Follow us there. Follow us on Instagram. And then Gary and my page as well. But it will all come through the 4EO.
The Friday night event. Is that a dinner, dance,
Yes.
mingle,
It's-
cocktails?
Full dinner, cocktails, DJ, everything's included.
Okay.
People will just be coming into town, so we didn't want them to have to worry about getting food and
Yep.
all of those things. Food will be provided, drinks will be provided. It's just there
It's
to
just
have a
to
good
show
time.
up.
You got a ticket price?
Yes.
Not
Well,
yet.
the price, we haven't had the price yet because we're still trying to
Okay.
figure
Still-
That one little
Jacking, okay.
detail
Got
we
all
have
of-
to get.
okay, got it, got it.
And then Friday will be like from 7 until midnight because we're getting older and everybody will be sleepy around 10:30. And then Saturday will be a day party, which will be great for everybody from
Right.
2 until 7.
Okay. And and all proceeds are benefiting 4EO.
Absolutely.
All profits go to
All
4EO.
profits go to 4EO.
100%.
Awesome. Okay.
We gotta
we-
get this facility built, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our plan. So
Let's do it.
And we do still need sponsors. So if you're interested in getting the name of your business out in front of 300 well-to-do alumni from MTSU, reach out to us and we're happy to send you our sponsorship tiers.
Awesome. I love that.
Yes.
How can the community help you? What's the one thing that you need more of from the community?
So, I will say this. The community thus far, because of the awareness that we've raised, we've gotten a great response there. The need, of course, is funding. We have operational expenses month over month, and ideally it could be great for them if we could get someone to get on board and become like monthly donors. That would be great.
And that's any amount.
Do you have
whether-
a donation button on your website?
We
Yes.
do.
Okay.
Yep. Our website is the number 4, the letter E, the letter O, center, CENTER.com.
So you too can be a donor at $11 a month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right here, you can help 4EO become a real thing. I don't know if
Absolutely.
$11 is going to matter, but it
But
would,
it will.
would
It
help.
will.
So,
We started out
just
with
making up
$10
numbers.
Tuesdays and we hit a great goal doing that. And some people gave 10 on Tuesdays, some people gave 100. There were people that gave thousands. So whatever you can do. It's for the community. No amount is too small.
Love it. I love that. Derry, you got a Friday feel good for us?
I do. Was at a funeral today of a good friend of mine, married to my cousin in the Hayes family. Let's be honest. And Chris Brandon had a quote that he shared with a lot of folks, and it said this: "Life moves pretty fast. Sometimes you gotta slow down and realize what it's all about." And I think with what y'all guys are doing, a lot of what we do with storytelling and hospitality, sometimes you gotta slow down, see what it's all about. Y'all know what to do. Find somebody you know, tell them you love them.
That's right.
Yes.
It's outstanding. Smell the roses, man.
Smell the roses, man. Stop.
Smell the roses. If you don't see it, you gotta slow down a little bit.
That's right.
Gary, Maryam, thank you.
Thank
you so
Charlie.
much for coming to hang out with us. Please let me know how I can help, how the restaurant can help. Whatever we can do, we will definitely do, and be glad to help you. Guys, you know what to do. Go find 4EO, get involved, donate some money, get your tickets to the event on April 10th and 11th.
That's right.
Is that open to all MTSU alumni?
Yes.
All
Or just
MTSU
specific
alumni,
years?
even if you didn't graduate, because I know everybody that went there didn't necessarily graduate.
I graduated.
Okay, great.
Took a while, but I got there.
Hey, it's all good. Sometimes you got to slow down.
I was on the family term, long-term, 8-year plan.
Yeah. I probably passed you a couple of times. We were passing there.
My
Back and
classes
forth.
became real important. That's all I'm saying.
Did you ever get lost in Peck Hall?
No. I grew up at MTSU, so I knew.
Okay.
Man, Peck
but-
Hall was
Peck
a
Hall.
puzzle.
A mess.
So that's kind of how we say things now when people ask, hey, can anyone come? Like, if you ever had a class in Peck Hall, you are definitely welcome to this party.
I was on the fourth floor of the KOM. It was a lookout point.
Yeah.
Hey, it is
So-
what it is.
And if you're just a supporter of the 4EO Community Center and you want, it's the age group is going to be like from 45 to 60, right? So if you're looking for a mature event, high scale, upscale, good time,
So all you young
This is
bucks,
it.
wait your turn. So that's
we'll have something else for you guys soon.
We will,
I
absolutely.
love it. I love it. Y'all know what to do. If you want to get involved, please feel free. You can reach out to me, Charlie, at singletreebbq.com. You can call me at 615-307-0120. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We air every Saturday morning on ESPN 94.9 The Fan from 8 until 9 a.m. And until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
y'all be good.
Thanks, guys.